In the wake of China's provocative actions against the country's vessels in the West Philippine Sea, the Philippines gets military assistance from longtime ally the United States, particularly in the conduct of resupply missions to the BRP Sierra Madre that's grounded on the Ayungin Shoal, while a senator questions the Coast Guard's capabilities to perform its role in maritime law enforcement. The defense chief admits a capability upgrade is necessary to reduce the country's dependence on foreign states. Good evening, I'm Pia Hontiveros. Welcome to your weekly political appointment fix, Politics as Usual. Our guest for tonight, the Commander of the Armed Forces of the Philippines Western Command, Vice Admiral Alberto Carlos. Good evening, Admiral Carlos. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Good evening, Pia. Honored and privileged to be here.
Will be your privilege to have you here, sir. Can you tell us first, as Westcom Commander, and please use the nautical chart on the table. We will be using it throughout the show. No? Tell us, what is your area of responsibility?
As the Western Command Commander, my area of operations covers the entire province of Palawan and all the waters in the West Philippine Sea, in the Kalayaan Island Group, and our exclusive economic zone in the western part of Palawan.
Maybe we can ask the camera to zoom out a bit para makita, no? So this is
the province of Palawan and all the waters west of it, including the Kalayaan Island Group.
Where's the Kalayaan Island Group?
Kalayaan Island Group is right here.
All right.
And our EEZ is right up here.
Exclusive economic zone. Ito yung 200 nautical miles.
This is 200 nautical miles from our baseline.
Okay. Baseline, our baseline is this, right?
The baseline is this one, 12 miles territorial sea, and then another 12 miles for contiguous zone. And from the contiguous zone, you extend it to another 200 nautical miles.
Saan dito yung 10-dash line ng China?
Nandito na.
Nandito na siya.
Nandito na siya.
Okay. Alright. Babalikan po natin yon, Admiral Carlos. So, and di ba, hindi lang naman sa Ayungin Shoal, and we're going to show it again, no? Ayungin Shoal has, All right, that's Ayungin Shoal, and we have all these miniature model ships on this, what we call a nautical chart. Hindi po ito mapa, right, sir? This is not a map, a nautical chart, because this is what, here we show the maritime features, correct, sir?
Correct.
Okay, and of course we have all these little, what we call the miniature model ships. These are what you use in the Navy, but we'll go back to that in just a bit when you use that when you plan your missions. But sir, can you point out to us, saan po yung may mga outposts ng Philippines dito sa buong area?
The Philippines now occupies total of 9 features. The biggest is Kalayaan Island, Pag-asa Island, or Tandito. And then we have Kota, Lawak, Likas, Panata, Patag, Rizal Reef, Ayungin. Likas and Patag, I have mentioned that already. About 9 features.
9 features. We call them features because hindi lang siya shoal
Hindi lang siya shoal. Some of them are islands, some of them are reef.
Okay.
So we call it features.
Okay. And for Ayungin Shoal, for example, like we said, no, ito yung BRP Sierra Madre natin. So ito yung model ship.
This is,
I'm sorry, that's the one?
Philippine flag.
With the Philippine flag. All right. Dapat makita yung Philippine flag. Okay. And in the other features, what kind of outposts do we have?
We have, in Pag-asa, we have several buildings and facilities there. We also have the airstrip. But in the other islands, mostly barracks lang. Barracks, because some of them are sandbars during low tide. Walang nakalutang except yung barracks lang ng mga tropa.
Okay, so on stilts?
On stilts, yes.
Okay, all right. So, sir, pag-usapan po natin itong yung nangyari nung Friday, no? Nagkaroon ng RORE or rotation and resupply mission to the BRP Sierra Madre, which is grounded in the Ayungin Shoal. Can you first tell us, kayo na po mag-position ng mga ships, no? And there are already flags on these ships to show what they are. So the BRP Sierra Madre
is right here.
Okay, sa Ayungin Shoal. Ayungin Shoal is, can you point to it, sir, para makita?
Ayungin Shoal is right here.
Here, all right. Okay, so BRP Sierra Madre. Of course, hindi ganyang kaganda ang Sierra Madre kasi medyo kinakalawang na. Okay, that was grounded all the way back in 1999.
1999.
And then on Friday, what happened? So we have Coast Guard vessels and Philippine vessels approaching the area.
Yeah, the two resupply boats came from Ulugan Bay, right here, about in Puerto Princesa.
Okay, here.
And the two Coast Guard vessels came from Buliluyan in southern part of Palawan. And they all link up in Sabina Shoal.
Sabina Shoal. So let's move them to Sabina Shoal.
They all link up in Sabina Shoal before proceeding in formation to Ayungin.
What do you mean by in formation? What did it look like?
Well, it looks like this. The two resupply vessels,
ones,
the small one, and on both sides they have the Philippine Coast Guards providing security to our resupply boats.
There were naval vessels, right? Philippine Navy vessels?
Well, the Navy
Parang
vessels were...
shadowing lang yung Coast Guard?
The Philippine Navy vessels were conducting their own patrols in their respective sectors during this resupply mission.
Okay. So, nag-hire, which is the usual case, no? You hire private vessels. Why?
Well, first is the hydrographic consideration because Ayungin Shoal is very shallow. So yung draft ng barko is very critical, so they can enter the shoal and come alongside 57 and transfer the supply.
Okay. So dapat ang mangyayari, itong dalawang small private vessels, like you said, come alongside.
They will usually enter the northeast entrance of the shoal, and then they will proceed to alongside LS-57.
When you say shallow, how shallow is the shoal?
Well, the entrance is about 10 feet.
The entrance 10 feet?
10 feet.
10 feet deep?
Deep.
Parang swimming pool pala.
Oh. That's why we have to use low draft vessels. And during the planning, many years ago, when they decided to use this, the strategy was to civilianize and demilitarize the resupply mission. In addition, we have to take into consideration the draft, the hydrographic data.
Yeah.
And they came up with the use of the resupply boats, which we are still using up to now.
And civilianize and demilitarize, meaning you use the Coast Guard vessels, which are non-military and therefore white ships, no?
Yes,
not gray ships. Gray ships are the Navy ships.
That's correct, Pia. In our country, the Coast Guard is civilian in nature. So we ask the Coast Guard to support and to provide security to our resupply vessels.
Okay, so let's refer back to the nautical chart and we'll show that on camera. So again, for the viewers, no, para makita nila. So this is the BRP Sierra Madre sa Ayungin Shoal. These are the two resupply vessels that are hired private, and the two Coast Guard vessels escorting them. So what happened on Friday? Merong lumapit na meron nang nakaabang na mga Chinese vessels, right?
Well, they usually meet us in Sabina. They forward deploy their the Coast Guard vessel, as well as their militia vessels. They forward deployed it to Sabina, where they meet us, where they meet the convoy, and they try to they shadow it up to a certain point.
Bakit Sabina? They want to prevent you from getting to Ayungin.
Sabina is also, they're starting to also establish their presence there. Lately, we've been monitoring swarming presence of Chinese fishing vessels in Sabina, and that's where they now start their shadowing operations as far as the resupply mission is concerned.
On August 5, so may water cannon, pero ngayon walang water cannon, pero meron pa ring gitgitan, meron pa ring dangerous maneuvers na nangyari, may radio challenges pa rin.
That's correct. It's the same actions from the Chinese. For the only difference from August 5 to August 22 is the water cannon. But it's the same harassment, shadowing, dangerous maneuvers, trying to cut off the supply boats from the Philippine Coast Guard vessel escorting.
So how did that happen? Can you demonstrate, sir, with these ships on the
Well, while they were on the
nautical
way, the Chinese Coast Guard usually try to cut in between the Philippine Coast Guard vessel and the Philippine resupply boats. They usually try to separate them, and then they will block the Philippine Coast Guard from proceeding any further for providing security to the resupply boats.
So ang gagawin ng Coast Guard, iiwas siya?
Magpapatintero, iiwas up to a certain point that they are with the help of the militia, the Chinese Coast Guard has successfully boxed in the Philippine Coast Guard, and it could no longer proceed any further.
Okay.
So that's,
Pero hindi lang po isa na Chinese vessel, right? There were how many total? And then can you bring the other ships?
Yeah, for the last resupply mission, we monitored 4 Coast Guard, Chinese Coast Guard vessel and 11 Chinese militia vessels. So they're all taking part of the harassment and the blocking operations.
Okay.
Of,
when you say 11 militia, these are naval, not naval.
No, these are, they said they are Chinese fishing vessels.
Fishing vessels.
Fishing vessels.
Pero actively participating.
Actively participating. It looks like that they are taking orders from the Chinese Coast Guard, participating in the blocking and the harassment of our supply vessels. And yun.
Okay. So, sir, ang nangyari last Friday, yung RORE na nga, no, yung rotation and resupply mission, and every time you do that, you always, and any mission for that matter, you do, and what we're showing right now here on this table, here in Politics as Usual, you do what you call the voyage planning, parang tabletop exercises. So you use this nautical chart and you use these miniature model ships. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, that is correct. We do operational planning and pre-sale brief so that everybody knows kung ano kanilang tasking in the operation.
Okay. And then you monitor via radio and what's happening on the high seas?
Yes, we have electronic means to monitor the movements of the vessels. We usually, once they go out, we usually battle staff positions na kami, battle staff
positions, meaning?
We are monitoring it already.
Okay. So you are prepared, in other words, for any eventuality?
Yeah, we always have contingency plan.
Okay.
Contingency plan for any eventuality.
All right, but the biggest eventuality is the water cannon incident. Nothing more than that.
Well, that's for the last, for the August 5, but there are a lot of other contingency that may happen during this resupply mission. So for any contingency and eventuality, we are prepared to respond.
Okay. And like you said earlier, itong voyage planning tabletop exercise using this nautical chart and these miniature model ships, we have to say thank you to the Philippine Fleet because they provided this for us tonight. But you do use this for other missions also that the Navy undertakes, right?
Yeah, for the other RORE missions in the other islands na hindi naman na-challenge, we also use this for the conduct of our regular maritime patrol by the Navy. We also use this nautical chart.
Admiral Carlos, Vice Admiral, or I should promote you na rin. Admiral Carlos, we're going to take a very quick break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. This is Politics as Usual. Still with us, the commander of the AFP Western Command and also Naval Forces West. Correct, sir? Hindi. Westcom.
Different person, just the Westcom.
Okay, Westcom, Vice Admiral Alberto Carlos. But for purposes of brevity, Admiral Carlos, let's promote him tonight. And Admiral Carlos, of course, explaining many things to us using this nautical chart and these miniature model ships that are used in actual for what they call voyage planning for any mission that the Navy, including the Coast Guard, of course, goes on. So, Admiral, itong BRP Sierra Madre na nga that was grounded there in Ayungin Shoal, it's in such a decrepit state. Ang sabi nga daw dalawa daw ang kalaban. Sabi nga ni retired Navy Admiral Romel Ong, Mother Nature and what is happening tensions around the world and in this region. What can we do about it, the Sierra Madre? Should we retrofit? What can we do? Or pabayaan ng...
Well, of course, through the years, BRP Sierra Madre has gone through wear and tear. The pictures will not lie. But our concern now in Westcom, given the directive of the President and our Commander-in-Chief, that we will stay there, our concern is to make sure that BRP Sierra Madre continues to fly the Philippine flag there and also provide safe and secure accommodation for our troops stationed there. So there are a lot of things on the table on how to do that, and I cannot discuss the operational details of that. But the directive, the marching orders of the President is very clear. We will stay there. And so our effort is now to ensure that the Philippine flag continues to fly from that platform.
Yeah. So again, like you said, your efforts are to ensure that the Philippine flag continues to fly from the BRP Sierra Madre, and therefore you never ever heard in all your years with the Navy, in all your years with the armed forces, of any promise, any vow made by any Philippine official to Chinese authorities that we will remove the Sierra Madre from there.
I'm not aware of any promise made, and if there's one, the President has already
rescinded it.
rescinded it.
Okay. In other words, forget it. Parang ganon. If there was such a thing. Yung parang may proposal na or an idea, joint patrols, joint drills with other countries like the United States, the United Kingdom, and we have ready flags here, but not enough ships here. Ready flags. US, UK, Australia, etc. In both, for example, Mischief Reef, Second Thomas Shoal, Ayungin Shoal. Is that advisable? Will that help us in our goal? Is it going to help us stake our claim even more? Or is it going to worsen things? What?
Well, we welcome the statement of supports from our allies. And these countries are like-minded nations sa atin who would like to establish a rules-based international order in the West Philippine Sea. So any help na i-offer sa atin to pursue that objective, I think for me as a Westcom commander, it's a welcome development for me. My concern in as a Westcom commander is to be able to have the proper tools, enough platforms to be able to execute whatever operations that I have in my area. If the joint patrols and the other countries will offer additional tools for me to be able to do my job, and at the same time, at the end of the day, we'll be able to establish a rules-based international order. So at my level, I would welcome that activity.
Well, right now we're showing video of that American plane that was flying during the RORE late last week. Was that a prearranged thing between Westcom and the armed forces and the U.S. armed forces, or was this a surprise for you as well?
Well, we are sharing information, regularly sharing information with the U.S. Navy, and this is an exercise of freedom of navigation and overflight. There's nothing wrong with that. It's all consistent with the international law. And as part of the information sharing, yes, the video footage provided by that aircraft was very, very useful in giving a very good visual of the danger, the challenges, and the struggle of our patriots while doing the resupply mission.
Yung danger pala, no, Admiral, like we used the term earlier kanina, dangerous maneuvers. Kung nagkamali ng a few inches, there could have been a serious accident.
Yes, as you could showed by the video, the Philippine Coast Guard captain has the presence of mind to stop his engine while the Chinese Coast Guard vessel was cutting across the bow. So that's a very dangerous maneuver, and also the distance, a very, very close distance already.
Ano bang balak nila? Did they really want to cause an accident, or were they trying to scare off our vessels, or what?
Scare off, block, and not proceed anymore towards Ayungin. And that's their objective. Is not to allow the Philippine Coast Guard to go near Ayungin Shoal.
Admiral, itong kanina pinag-uusapan, joint patrols, joint drills. What about a joint forward base? Is that, can we do that? Is that allowed under our Constitution? Or will we have a tough time defending it from criticism? Because syempre, sasabihin ng tao, tinanggal na nga natin yung bases. No? What we have is a VFA, Visiting Forces Agreement, EDCA. Pwede ba yung joint forward base dyan sa area para lang to help us stake our claim?
Well, all I know is about the EDCA site in Balabac. The forward base in KIG is something that hindi pa namin napag-uusapan. I'm not aware of any effort to establish a forward base in KIG. But
KIG, Kalayaan Island Group.
Kalayaan Island Group.
Okay.
But we do have an EDCA site in Balabac, in southern Palawan.
Where is Balabac, sir?
This is Balabac. I think this is Balabac.
Okay.
So it's in the choke point. So that's a very strategic area for us. That's one of the EDCA site that the Americans can also use for whatever.
Okay. All right, sir, kanina sinabi, I was asking, saan po dito yung 9-9? And you said it's here, no?
Yeah,
very near. Actually, inside already our EEZ,
well,
right?
we do not have. That's for sure. That's inside our EEC, but the specific technical description, because when the Chinese drew the 9-9, wala namang technical description.
Okay.
Looks like an arbitrary drawing on the map.
Okay, and we're going to go to a break, but my question before the break is, now that they've released a 10-line map, does that in any way affect our naval operations, or it doesn't matter to you?
It doesn't matter.
All right. We'll take a very quick break. Our guest here in the studio, Vice Admiral Alberto Carlos, Westcom Commander. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Politics as Usual. Vice Admiral Alberto Carlos, Westcom Commander, is our guest. Admiral, itong i-release na new standard map, is that going to help you do your job better?
Yes, it will now. From what I heard, it will now use Philippine names over the features, so less confusion, because some of our maps still has foreign names. I heard this new map will now carry all Filipino names for all our features in the West Philippine Sea. So, in terms of lessen confusion.
You were consulted for this?
We worked with the LGU Kalayaan in the naming and also in the maps.
Admiral, speaking of China, its premier warned during ASEAN in Jakarta, he warned other nations, quote, not to take sides to avoid a Cold War. What is going on in the West Philippine Sea? Tension lang ba yan or Cold War na ba ito?
I think it's just tension. I think it's something that we can address peacefully and resolve the issues. But hindi nga lang military alone ang solution. It has to be a whole-of-nation approach. And we're doing that aside from the usual dialogue and diplomacy. Hindi pa naman Cold War yan. It's something that we can resolve peacefully.
Pwede pang maagapan. Sir, the United States turned over 2 ships which were renamed the BRP Valentin Diaz and the BRP Ladislao Diwa. These ships can help you in your mission, in the Navy's and the Westcom's mission?
Well, the vessels are, I'm familiar with the vessels, the Cyclone class. They're small. It's more for littoral area.
When you say littoral, meaning?
About 12.
Near to the shore?
Near to the shore.
Okay.
Coastal patrol. These are small vessels.
Parang yung sa PNP Maritime Group.
The PNP Maritime Group is mas smaller
mas maliit pa doon.
Smaller pa doon.
Okay.
But this is bigger. The Cyclone class is bigger with a rib at the back. But for WPS, West Philippine Sea operation, that's quite small for that.
Okay. Admiral Carlos, your final words will be an answer to this question. My question has to do with modernization. For a nation to be respected by the world and to respect itself, we need to have a credible defense posture. I hear this year in and year out, no, pag pinag-uusapan itong Horizon 1, Horizon First, Second, Third Horizon ng modernization program ng Armed Forces. Credible defense posture with what you call a modern and capable Air Force as our first line of defense.
Yes.
Tapos dapat second line of defense ang Navy, and then third line and final line yung Army.
Ground Forces, yes.
Ground Forces. Why is this so important to us? Itong yung tinatawag nga no self-respecting nation would not have a credible defense posture.
Well, because our operation in the West Philippine Sea and for the AFP in general, it takes more than just grit and military resolve. It has to be backed up with the military strength. So for the Western Command, we already have a force mix drawn up to ensure that we cover the entire area and to address any contingency in the West Philippine Sea. It's all part of the modernization program, including with the Philippine Air Force and the Philippine Navy modernization. So yung force mix namin nandiyan na rin, nakalista na. Otherwise, without that, we cannot effectively cover, effectively patrol, and protect and defend our sovereignty and sovereignty rights in the West Philippine Sea.
And that is very important.
It's very important for us to be able to project a credible defense posture in the West Philippine Sea.
Vice Admiral Alberto Carlos, the commander of the AFP, Armed Forces Western Command, covering, as we see on the nautical chart, Palawan and this entire area. Lahat ng nakikita po ninyo. Sir, maraming salamat po. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. We're so honored you're here. Thank you, sir. And thank you, of course, to the Philippine Fleet for this nautical chart and the miniature model ships. We've been told before, don't talk politics at the dinner table or at a family reunion or in Viber groups and risk warfare, digital or otherwise. But we can talk about it here at this table on this show, your weekly political appointment fix, politics as usual. I'm Pia Hontiveros. See you back here next Wednesday, 8 p.m.